Nani ue minasan, it's your boy, and if you're just starting out with learning Japanese and you want to learn the best way to self-study those pesky Genki textbooks, then this video is for you. We'll walk through exactly how to go through the Genki books, along with some really great resources to make your study routine even more effective. We'll cover tutors, speaking practice, and maybe some other things. Anyways, let's get into it. So you've done your research, and you've everyone has pointed you to the Genki series, and this is one of the most popular textbooks for beginners when it comes to learning Japanese, as it covers all the basics: grammar, vocabulary, reading, writing, listening. It's got everything, and it's structured in a way that makes learning feel manageable, breaking down each lesson into easy, understandable segments. The problem is, Genki is meant for more of a school situation. But it's great because it is beginner friendly and it comes with audio resources and listening practice. But using it alongside with some extra special resources will help you learn even faster and commit your new found language into memory. To start, you'll want to establish a study routine using Genki as the main resource. And here's what that first week kind of looks like. I say aim for about 30 to 60 minutes per day. And I think consistency is key. You want to make sure that you're staying on it. I think begin with lesson one, focusing on hiragana and katakana if you haven't already. And each lesson will typically include vocabulary, grammar, explanations, practice exercises, and dialogue. After that, or along with that anyway, after reading the lesson, I think watch the corresponding Tokini Andy video. If you don't know who Tokini Andy is, well, congratulations. You've done the impossible by not knowing who one of the greatest Japanese language YouTube is. But Tokini Andy has a video on each and every lesson completely free on his YouTube channel in a nice, delicious playlist, which I'll try to link below. And he goes through additional explanations and great stories to go along with it. And he provides extra insights that will really help reinforce the content. If you want to go even further into subscribing for his paid membership, you'll get access to shadowing materials. Shadowing materials. What is it? Shadowing materials, worksheets, access to his entire library of things that he covers, including, I believe, quartet, which I'm not even on yet, and a bunch of reading materials and immersive materials. I subscribe to Tokini Andy both on YouTube and pay for his membership, and I think it's a great deal and a great recommendation for anyone who's trying to do this. But studying on your own is great. But one thing you can't really do is speak. Yeah, people talk about speaking with AI or talking to yourself, and those are all fantastic. But I think speaking practice is important. Some people do not agree, and we have those age-adders out there, and that's fine. To each his own. I don't really care. But for me, being able to spend some amount of time going back and forth and having some sort of dialogue or having someone you can ask questions to is important. So places like italki, Cafe Talk, Preply are all places where you can get, I think, relatively affordable tutors to have conversational practice, be able to ask those questions, and really, I think, further your listening and further your speaking. Two things that are possible with other methods, but I think having the perspective of someone live in front of you, particularly a native speaker, depending on who you choose, speak to you and being able to hear it in different contexts and hear what differences they use that aren't textbook phrases or textbook vocabulary is so incredibly important. And be able to get some of the nuance so you can speak more naturally, because Genki is textbook after all. And how many English speakers do you know that speak like textbooks? I don't right now. So there's that. And listen, don't worry about making mistakes. Your tutor is there to correct you. I think George from Japanese from Zero says that you're paying for a friend, that you can tell that you want to talk about whatever, but they're there for you. They're there. It's a paid friend, and you should use them to your advantage. Don't feel bad. Speaking of Japanese from Zero, along with Tokini Andy's YouTube videos, what I have done was watch George's videos. Japanese from Zero is a fantastic resource. And George, I don't know why or how he does it. He's one of the top teachers, just in general, but he provides so much free resources on YouTube, that I highly recommend everyone go through. I love Tokini, Andy, and George are possibly one of my favorite people on YouTube, and the way they teach is incredible. George has so much charisma that I certainly have a parasocial relationship with the guy. But I think that's what both Tokini, Andy, and George have in common, is that they're trying to build a community. And I think if there's like this bonus tip that I can throw out there, is that you want to build your community, not just have these parasocial relationships, but I believe there's forums on Japanese from Zero. The Wanikani forums I actually really enjoy, in terms of being able to get in contact and be surrounded by people who are on the same path as me. I think I spend a lot of time like brain rotting on YouTube when I could be studying or be around people who are on the same journey as I am. And it's important to be able to know where those things are. So there's that. But like I was saying before, Japanese from Zero is a great resource. But one other resource that I think is completely overlooked, and I think people will think this is overkill, but the next one is Seth Clydesdale Genki resource site. This site is a must-use site. It has interactive exercises from the books, quizzes, games, not really games as much as like the dialogues and stuff like that, from the Genki lessons. And I believe he also does Genki 1 and 2, as well as Tobira. And of course, this can just help reinforce everything that you've learned. Being able to do the vocabulary in 4 different modes, like he has for each exercise, most of them are like drag and drop or multiple choice, or you can write them in yourself. And it's just so many ways to not only learn, but also reinforce what you have. This is 100%. The combination of all of these is 100% going to get you through Genkis 1 and 2 and bring you to an entirely new level of Japanese, much quicker than your average Joe who's doing it in college or high school, much faster than anyone else who's just simply reading the textbooks. You can really supercharge your time to get further and faster, I think. And I think there are other ways you can supercharge yourself by like just simply immersing, again, hearing these things over and over again, getting accustomed to what Japanese sounds like in different contexts. But if we're sticking with just Genki, I think that these few things are going to be really helpful. Again, I think going through each Genki lesson and completing the exercises, whether that's through Seth's site, is important. Again, topping that up and reinforcing it with Tokini Andy's lessons or George's lessons will really cement what you have going on there. And of course, on Seth's site, you have the workbook too. So it's not just being able to recognize things, but the workbook allows you to actually have to type in things. So you're getting real world practice on what Japanese is supposed to be written like. And I think that's important. I think Tokini Annie does a really good job shadowing. So you get to, again, his wife Yuki does the work, and you repeat after her and you repeat with her. And again, you're reinforcing what you can hear, but you're also meant to say it out loud. And I think being able to do all these things without feeling silly is so important. And just keep on going. And keep on going until it's done. So, with that said, take notes. Don't skip the audio. Go about everything. If it doesn't work for you, that's okay. But I suggest you definitely try to go through it all and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And once you find the thing, just go for it. Genki's your friend. If you found another resource, that'll also be your friend. Until next time, guys, we'll see you later. But why don't you stick around, give us a like, subscribe, and watch this other video. Peace.